Hi, I'm Fred Sokolow, and this is a lesson on Hawaiian songs for ukulele. Now, you're not going to have to learn how to speak Hawaiian to do these songs. These are hapa-haoli songs, which is an expression that literally means mixed. Well, hapa-haoli is mixed race, actually. And what happened was, sometime around 1915 or so, a fella named Sonny Kuna started writing songs that had some Hawaiian language in them, but he had been educated at Harvard and was real knowledgeable about American music. So he was kind of taking the Tin Pan Alley sound and combining it with Hawaiian themes and occasional Hawaiian words. They started calling it hapa-haoli music, and lots of other people got on board with this. A lot of the pop songwriters and writers in Hawaii who'd grown up there contributed to this genre. But so did a lot of Tin Pan Alley writers in New York who had never been to Hawaii, but they got the point about how to write these kind of songs. So they've been popular. Some of these tunes have been popular since the teens or 20s, and there have been some real popular ones like Tiny Bubbles that were written in the 1960s. But it's a genre that if you play the ukulele, you're no doubt going to meet people that know these songs and you're going to want to play them. In addition to just strumming along and learning how to back yourself up singing them, you're going to learn some solos so that you can play little instrumental versions of the songs too, which makes it a lot more fun and a little bit of challenge and a little bit of growth, hopefully, as a ukulele player. So we'll start by tuning up in standard tuning here. Here's your high G, your fourth string. And then the third string, C. The second string, E. And the first string, the high A, which gives you your My Dog Has Fleas tuning. Then we'll start right now getting into the first tune. Where my little hula girl has gone. She's no longer on the beach at Waikiki. I combed the beach, I watched the surf she rode upon, and I've looked around as far as I can see. She flew to the east, she flew to the west. Never rest till I get her back in the little grass shack. I wonder where our little hula girl has gone. She's no longer on the beach at Waikiki. Get her back in the little grass shack. I wonder where my little hula girl has gone. She's no longer on the beach at Waikiki. That tune, I Wonder Where My Little Hula Girl Has Gone, was written in the 30s. Real pop tune. It's been done lots and lots of times by a lot of artists. And it embodies a lot of the traditions of the hapa-haoli thing. For example, we'll talk about the little grass shack. There's a whole lot of songs about little grass shacks. And it also has this little turnaround, which is something that goes all the way back to Sonny Kuna, you know, previous to the 20s even. He kind of made that a trademark of hapa-haoli tunes. You'll hear that turnaround in lots and lots of songs. So I'm going to talk a little bit about the right hand technique first in performing that. It's, you know, I'm strumming during the singing, and when I strum, I'm mostly picking down with my index finger with a fingernail and up with the fingernail of my thumb with this kind of a strum, real relaxed wrist. And then when I'm singing, most of the time I'm doing that. Every once in a while I'll break that pattern to get, you know, some little lick in there. When I'm playing the tune, it's this chord melody style. A lot of times I'll just play the notes and then strum afterwards on the given chord, like, and other times I'm playing the melody and chords at the same time. For instance, at the beginning. Okay, so that's a G chord, and I'm strumming all the way down to the top note, because that's the melody note on the first string. If the melody note were on the second string, I would strum to there and not play the first string, because you kind of want the melody note to be the highest note in the chord in the style of playing. So, and then some individual notes, and it goes to the E7th, and then once you've played the melody and there's a pause, then you do some strumming to fill in. Then it goes to an A7th, and here again I'm strumming all the way to the first string, because that's the melody note, and then individual notes, and then strums. It goes to the D7th, and as you can see I'm playing individual notes, and when it gets to a G chord, strumming again. So you strum whenever you can. You want to hear the chords and melody at the same time. On that figure on the D7th, where there's a lot of melody notes, I actually did some extra notes in between. So I was using the first string as a drone string there to fill it up, so it doesn't sound so bare when you suddenly go from strumming to individual notes. And that's what happens throughout. So at the beginning of the tune, you're on this G chord, and I went, just dipped down. I held the second string, but dipped down there with these two fingers. And then it goes right to the next chord, the E7th, A7th. Little pull off there. And to the D7th. And that's the section I just talked about. And turns around on it in a D7th. Then you repeat that. And same licks, and then you get to a bridge. So C and G. Sometimes I went C, and I did this on the G chord to get that little descending line on the second string. That takes you to the C. She flew to the east, and then that's from a C to a C minor 6, and then G. Then you get the A7th to the D7th. And that's about it. You've got an A-A-B-A kind of structure, verse, verse, chorus, verse. You could look at it as it's an 8-bar phrase, the A part. Then you repeat it with different words. Then you have a B part that's a bridge, different melody and chords and different, you know, breaks the monotony. And then you go back and do the A part again. Tons of hapa-haoli songs are A-A-B-A kind of songs. I'm sure we'll encounter other ones in this bunch of tunes. So on the solo, as I said, I'm most of the time playing individual notes and then following them up with chords. Individual notes and then chords. So now we're going to split the screen, and you can get a close-up of both my hands as I'm playing the Hula Girl song, and really get a close-up look at what's happening. I'll slow down the tempo a little bit to make it easier to follow. And when you look at the written material, that comes with this lesson. The written out solos are these slowed down split screen parts. So let's take a look at I Wonder Where My Little Hula Girl Is Gone.
Girl has gone. She's no longer on the beach at Waikiki. I combed the beach. I watched the surf she rode upon, and I've looked around as far as I can see. Never rest till I get her back